Winning with Blends. Guys, I'm so happy to be here. I'm so glad that everybody's joined. I'm so glad you guys lined up. First things first, I want everybody to pause what you're doing, no matter what it is, whether it's watching the stream or doing something totally different. What I really want you to do is actually hit the link in the description, hit the link in the bio, because I want you guys to join the community. I've been working on this for a little while, maybe some years, maybe some months. I really want you guys to join because this is a chance for us to connect and kind of do things on a new level, a different level, right? So we are totally live, right? Let me know if you guys have any issues with sound. Let me know if the visuals are okay. If we have any issues with the stream, it's totally okay. I'm totally fine to just, start again. How's it going? Welcome. I love to see some people showing up in the chats. Look, I've been planning to do a live on this channel for so long, and finally we're here. I want to ask a couple of quick questions, okay, before we dive into anything. And of course, today what I want to talk about is FL Studio Mobile, all the different updates that have come, so many new plugins, so many sound packs, so many modules, so many tools, a completely new interface, totally, to my view, absolutely fantastic. Again, let me know if the sound is good. Guys, if you want me to live stream at this time, drop a comment, but I said it already, join the group in the description, okay? In the bio, the link is right there. Guys, the price is as low as possible, and the reason why there is a price point on it, I would love to just do it for free, but as a matter of fact, there are so many scammers out there pretending to be me, probably pretending to be some of you as well. So we've got a super, super low cost deal for you guys to join me for a good year. So I definitely recommend you guys join. I'm not going to move an inch until you guys all join. Okay, I'm totally joking, but let's get into it, okay? So again, winning with Blends, guys, is Justin Blends back again. We've got updates for FL Studio Mobile. We've got a lot of things going on in the AI world. Of course, we've got a lot of things going on with digital assets. And within Blends Group, you're going to be able to get insights. More than that, you'll be able to get education. More than that, you'll be able to get knowledge. Well, that's essentially education, but essentially we have a digital asset strategy for you creators, whether you're musicians, perhaps you want to make NFTs, perhaps you want to put your music on chain, perhaps you want to monetize yourself in a different way, your creations, your music, your persona, join me on this journey into music beyond. Okay, we have so much going on in there, but look, FL Studio Mobile is essentially what has brought us together. And we've had such great success with this channel. A lot of us have grown together. I want to say again, thank you as well to the people who have joined me in the other communities, for example, Telegram or Discord. Those groups are slowly winding down because, like I said already, there's so many scammers out there. And this video here will have some information that is educational, will have some entertainment, but I also want to just make sure that I'm connecting with you guys directly. Not just about FL Studio Mobile, absolutely, but I want to hear what you guys have in mind. So of course I've got a various, set of tunes that I'm working on for the years. I'm just going to play something in the background, just something that I've been kind of, working on, just something fun, something light, Feel free to, again, like I said, drop a comment and let me know what plugins you're using these days to go off. So I'm just going to start by going through some of the most recent updates, and I'm going to keep the volume low just to make sure you guys can hear me super well. If you want the music to be louder, if you want it to be quieter, let me know and let's dive in. So one of the most critical updates we've had since we last spoke is the keyboard. Okay, this whole transport area here has been updated. Okay, of course I'm using FL Studio Mobile on desktop, so I won't be able to record directly into FL Studio. I'll be essentially recording into, FL Studio desktop. But so we're not going to do any recording today. So I know a lot of people have actually requested to learn more about how to record vocals and record samples. We have tons of videos about that. We have other information as well directly in the group, again, in the description, in the bio. So click that link, take a moment, download the app, and join us in the community, because we're about to unlock some free courses. We're about to unlock some new innovative digital asset strategies for you and your music. So one more time, hit the like button and let's dive in. So when I first jump into FL Studio these past months, even the past year, what I see that stands out the most is, of course, like I said, the transport area, and of course the new keyboard, because we have so many new touch surfaces this is kind of super beautiful because look, we've got scales now, we've also got chords now, and one of my favorites, we've also got this strum feature here. The play surfaces in FL Studio Mobile have increased in their flexibility, but also in terms of just the ability to do more. The output that you can create with it is far greater. I have some very fun moments in making music here where I can actually use these strums to make some very interesting melodies, interesting sounds. I love using, I'll give you an example. So let's just say I take this piano here and I want to make some edits to it, and I say, okay, I like it, but maybe I want to increase the release time. So let me just solo this one here, and I'll show you some of the cool things that you can do with this keyboard here for strum. Right? You can increase the release. You can do stuff like for different instruments, right? You can lower the attack. And so when you're playing with guitars, right? Now we all know that MIDI guitars are not necessarily the best, right? They're not, you know, super fantastic to use oftentimes, but if you play it the right way, you can actually strum and have it be a little more realistic. And this might not be the best choice for this piano. This drippy piano, it's kind of cool. But there are so many new features that are in this thing. So I love this new keyboard. It's super, super, super fantastic. I can't even explain how much I love it, right? One of my favorites, of course, is the strum. And I like the fact that we had, you know, for those of you who are actually playing with FL Studio Mobile on the desktop, or pardon me, on mobile, and of course, like I said, many times you can use this on desktop. So if you don't know how to actually get yourself set up on desktop to use FL Studio Mobile, you definitely have to click the link in the description. Join us. Even if you just want to talk, guys, that's the place to check me right there. It's legit. It's safe. We do our best to remove scammers because these guys will emulate my likeness no matter what I do. So you guys have to be vigilant and also look out for one another. So the strum is beautiful. Chords are beautiful. I love the fact that right now FL Studio Mobile has actually positioned itself as being better than pretty much every DAW that you can find on your iOS, for example. Now, if you guys are familiar with dips, why dips, guys, check out my channels. Go to the channel section of this channel and you'll see other channels that I'm affiliated with. You'll hear lots of my music. Of course, some of that music was created directly right here in FL Studio Mobile. Maybe we'll actually play some of those tracks. Collaborations are there. It's fantastic, guys. I really want you to dive in through these links. Follow the breadcrumbs. Follow me. Let me see where you guys are so I can follow you and we can reciprocate, give back to each other, and maybe even grow, work together. As you guys know, I always say, let's win together. And I truly mean that every single time I say it. But this is super cool. It just simplifies it, you know? I typically don't mention too many names of other apps. I want to keep it super streamlined to FL Studio Mobile on this channel. But with programs such as GarageBand, I thought GarageBand on a standard level had the best play surfaces of any DAW that you have on your mobile device, right? And FL Studio Mobile has matched that and maybe even gone one step further. It's just so fantastic. Look at this, like, you know. So let's continue. Let's go back to the classic keyboard. I love the fact, again, this has been with us for a while. It used to be kind of a wheel, but now you could select the key of your project, and of course you could select the scale. Now this is beautiful for a few key points, and I hope everybody else can actually attest to this or agree with this. I hope somebody can, because for people who are actually learning, this is one of the most beautiful things about FL Studio Mobile, is that when you have apps like this that allow you to select the project scale. So let's just say you come with a very nice melody, a nice bass line, but you're just really not sure what you created. You could actually reverse engineer it, go back, select your key, try to find the key that fits, look at your root note, see where your, you know, where your chords are, and then of course, adjust your project scale. And now you're understanding a little bit more. So it's kind of like you can self-teach. It's so beautiful, guys. Let's dive into a couple of these effects that we're seeing. And I'm going to see if I could find an instrument that is consistent. So maybe we'll do these ones. Let's do this one. And we'll do this. Okay, we'll do this. Yeah, these three. So these are drums. This is bass, okay? So let's see what we have here, and I'm going to go through some of these effects and modules. Of course, they're called plugins in most cases, but with FL Studio Mobile, we call them modules, right? Before I dive into new modules though, guys, this is going to be like an ADD type of session, you know, for creators. Watch this. Load racks, save rack presets. That has exploded this app. So guys, look, if you guys want some racks, some of my custom racks that I use for kind of like a template for my mixing and my mastering, you definitely want to join us again in the community, guys. Look at this. You could save racks and you could reload them. So not only can you save instruments and reload an instrument setting, right? You can save a preset, as you see right here. Not only can you do that, you can actually create a new instrument all in through here, which we're going to do right now. So let's just say we have a bass line. I'm going to turn this up a little bit to make sure you guys can hear it super clearly, because I want to show you some of the things that I've been up to lately, and I want to share some of these with you. So let me put this up a little bit. Okay. Let me know if you guys need it to be a little bit louder or softer, whether it be me louder or softer or the music louder or softer. And I want to show you guys the things here that you can do. So not only can you now create instruments and load them as presets, you can also take an instrument, add various effects to the effect chain or your effect rack, and then save the effect rack. And so now essentially you have a fully, let's just say, mixed and mastered sound, okay, that you can essentially recycle again and again for your music. So if you have a certain sound that you like, you found this niche type of sound that people enjoy, that resonates with people, and that is memorable, this is the best way to do it, right? You don't have to keep doing it over and over again, resetting and redoing it. Crazy what they've done, with what Image Line has done. So we have, let me just give you guys an example. Let's say we have our bass line here. I'm going to add some multi effects as an example. Guys, I'm going to do this super quickly just to get the idea out, okay? Let's say we have a panner going on, and we're going to be kind of panning left and right, okay? As an example, let's do it like this, actually, like that. Okay, you guys should be able to hear the pan. I'm going to add a couple of other ideas, okay? Let's go ahead, and of course we got picture 1 and picture 2 now. We got tremolo. This is crazy. I love it. Okay, so let's add a comb filter. Okay. Let's add a comb filter, and then let's wet over to the left, right? So we'll do that. Let's add something else. Let's do, you guys know I love my distortion. So I will add a little bit of distortion to this one. Nice. A little distortion. What's going on? It's in my hand. Trying to function, but I can't understand. Wishing for the trap in the sand, trapdoor spiders. I'm not a biter. I'm a fighter. I'm an insider. I'm a provider. Okay, so we got a little bit of distortion going on. So let's just say, okay, let's just, for the sake of it, let's just add some compression, okay? Let me take the auto off. Let's drop this down, then take the auto off. Guys, that's another key thing. Oftentimes you drop the auto and, the volume's too loud, so I typically drop the level and then adjust the auto. Okay, so let's see what we can do. We're going to drop the threshold super low. We're going to add a little bit of there, as you see. Let's hold it a bit, release a bit. Okay, and let's pump it up a bit. Okay, so let's just say that is, you know what? Why don't we add a little bit? So let's move this up a bit. Let's move this up a bit. So while I'm doing this, I get a lot of these questions, for example, do you use compression before you use equalization? There's a key reason why it doesn't matter. But of course, if you have a choice and your levels are decent, why not start with EQ? But on the flip side, what if your levels are just, we want to hear the bass. Let me turn it up right for your face. Take it. Sorry about that. But I mean, we'll make it something fantastic. I won't shake it. I might stir it. Keep it going on. Very wordy with the words. Wordy with the words was the choice. Okay, I'm being silly. But that's Okay. So let's just say, yeah, so if your levels are good, if you have a raw recording, you went to a festival and you're just recording some audio and the levels are super all over the place. There could be fireworks and there's people talking and it's super quiet. You actually may want to compress first to control the levels, the dynamics, and then EQ. So it really depends, that one question about whether you should use EQ first or compression first or dynamics first, it's totally dependent. Again, like I said, if you have a recording that's super loud and super quiet and all over the place, you may not want to EQ it first. You may just want to, put on some type of compression to control the dynamics. We'll dive into that. So let's just say right now we have created this, this instrument. We like it. What we can do, of course, is save our rack, and we can say, hey, this is going to be called whatever the name is. Save it. Done. Now, again, on mobile, it might look a little different, but that's it. And now you can load that at any time. You can share it with your friends. That's what I'm saying, guys. Come into the community. Let's share our files together. I had a lot of people in the past asking me, can you share files? And yeah, I will. I'm ready to do that. It's not that I wasn't going to do it before. The timing just wasn't right. And the platform wasn't right? So that's one of the quick things I want to show you guys, of course. The major thing I want to say right now is the keyboard, okay? It has received some crazy updates, and it has actually pushed, to my view, FL Studio Mobile to the top of the pile by a little bit further, by a little bit more. It was already at the top. And of course, guys, I love sounds. I love different apps. I'm all over these different apps, mobile music production. Guys, check out what we have with dips. Hit the links in the description because in the channel area, because I want you to see what we're doing. I want you to hear what we're doing. I want to see what you guys are doing, right? So let's pause that. And let's go for another track. You guys, let's jump into another track and I will check the comments bit by bit. Let's go into something that might be a little bit more for the gamers. What do you guys think? Let's do something for the gamers, right? And let's go, I think, here we go. I know what it's called. It should be right here. Let's go for that. Okay, here we go. Let's take a listen to this one, guys. This one is something, it might come out in a video game one of these days. Let me just say that. We'll see, right? Let's do it. I'll turn it down just a bit. You guys let me know. Yeah. This one's called Crawlers. Okay, so let me see. In the meantime, it's like a dream time. I had to open up my eyes and I would see the shine. In the day, in the morning, it's kind of late, but sometimes I go to bed, I'm not so straight. I need to drink a little more water, get some exercise, go for walks with my daughter, whatever it takes to get my mind straight. Let's go. Okay. Oh my goodness. Sometimes I just want to go off with you guys just because it's so fun. Again, let me know. Let me know. I don't know what happened. The message is redacted. I see what's going on. This thing, it couldn't happen, but okay, so this track here, again, like I said, it could be featured in a game, something like that, right? Let's look at a couple of other plugins, okay, and even some new sounds. So let's just say we have this. Let me see. Yeah, let's do this. Yeah, right. Let's do that. Yep. Okay, let's do that, and let's add this one as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go to the master track, and we're going to do a couple of quick things, okay? Right, as you see, this track is still in the works, but not a bad thing. Okay, so sometimes we talk about stereo sound, stereo imaging, right? And I have one of the videos on the channel where we talk about stereo imaging and essentially separation of sounds. And essentially you can max pan to the left, max pan to the right, but as long as you have your sends and different things like that, you're oftentimes going to have sounds coming in through the left and the right channels anyway. So hard panning a synth to the left and hard panning something else to the right, and drums, let's say, down the middle, and vocals down the middle, backup vocals to the right or left, it's totally fine. Because again, I said this already, but when you have sounds that are gently panned a little to the left, 5 to the left, 10, 20 degrees to the right, and they're all they're kind of spread out like a fan, it actually brings them in closer relation to one another, which actually does limit the ability for it to be wide, right? If you really think about it, complete separation is actually where you're going to get that width from, right? So let's look at a couple of other sounds, right? Let's look at Tremelo. I'm going to do it on the actual entire instrumental so it's easy to hear, right? I love this, you know, because this, of course, allows you to adjust the phase. Now, this is very, how do I say, personal, right? Because you can sync it, but right now, as you see, I don't have it synced. Naturally, when it syncs, it's going to sync to a beat, but you can actually customize this, the curve, customize the form, right? This is sick. I love this. Stereo width, right? Let's adjust the width. Guys, and I definitely do plan on dropping some new videos. I have some videos unreleased. I may actually totally do them all over again for you guys, right? So Tremelo's in there. We'll do a full deep dive on Tremelo. I love that. Let's solo that one. Pardon me, let's mute that one. What else do we have? We have tape stop. Of course, one of the last videos that we made on the channel was the tape stop, right? Tape stop is super cool. That's pretty self-explanatory, right? The video's already there, right? We talked about wow and flutter as well. Super simple to use, right? In a lot of ways. Let's look at one more sound, and let's look at the multiband compressor one more time. I know we have a multiband compressor here. Let me just use a totally new one just to show you guys a couple of quick things that I still use to this day. Okay, and I mean it when I say I use them to this day. To this day, I still feel that multiband compressor in FL Studio Mobile is the best multiband compressor around. It's the most advanced, it's the simplest, right? One of the reasons why it is like that is because, watch this. As you guys may know from my videos, let's do this. I'm gonna get everything out there, and I'll turn it down a bit just in case, all right? Just in case. I'm gonna drop the volume just in case, okay? Okay, and let me know, guys, what you think about the levels. One of the most beautiful things about this, let's solo the high, okay? First of all, we adjust our high frequency range. Again, this is for the master track, and I'm doing it on purpose so it's easily recognizable, the changes that I'm making, right? Let's just say we like that area. Now, let's just say we go to low. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's just say we're doing that. And again, guys, remember, when you're working with your frequencies, you want to make sure that you're using mono. That's one of the best ways. Now, of course, don't get me wrong. You want to be in stereo sometimes too. You want to feel the bass. You want to hear how loud it is. But in terms of capturing that and locating, analyzing the information to find the frequency range, you definitely want to be in mono. So that's definitely in another video, maybe 5 times over. But I think it's super critical to mention that as well. It's what's helped me to achieve the things I have and to be at the level of music production and engineering that I'm at. Whether you guys are working in your bedrooms, whether you actually work in a studio, whether it's your school, perhaps there's some type of club or other facilities in your neighborhood, you know, you want to be, you know, using these techniques. And also, look at this, mid. So the beautiful thing is that the mid, of course, is just by default there. That is one of the easiest, most brilliant ways of using this tool. It's like a calculator that doesn't have an equal sign. It just automatically calculates. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And then, of course, so we're using mid, and I love this. Again, you can adjust the width of it, right? You can make it wider. You can, of course, push it right down the middle. So, of course, in the mono mix, this is where the mid will be pushing more down the middle. Let's go to high, and let's pan the highs again as well. You can hear how they're, when I say pan, I mean widen, right? They're wider now. If you have headphones on, I hope you're recognizing this, right? Let's bring it more down to the center. And in case you guys can't hear this, let me go to miscellaneous and let me open up an analyzer. One of the key things about the analyzer to note is if as an example, if your sound is a little too small, it's too narrow and you don't really see much, what you can do is, of course, go to settings and you can increase the input gain. It doesn't adjust the volume, as you guys hear. The volume is still the same, but it does help with visualizing, right? So let's see how high this goes here. And I'm going to turn it all the way down, and you'll see how quiet it is there. So in case your signal's a little too low, you can push it up here just to get the visual a little bit more clear. So watch this. As I come right down the middle, it's pretty narrow, right? You can see that. And you can likely hear it. But then, of course, you can widen things. Look at that, right? Now you lose some of the sounds, right? Depending on what you're doing. But as an example, hi-hats are metal. You know, essentially cymbals are metal, and metal is essentially just frequency. Yes, of course, volume, velocity does impact how a cymbal sounds coming through your speakers. But essentially, when you're working with cymbals, you want to be working in mono to find the frequency range. But also, you can kind of fake it or come to a balance. First of all, let's say you find your EQ, and then let's say you find your volume level in your headphones or your stereo speakers. You can also now start to work with the width, and suddenly it's changing the velocity. It makes it perhaps it makes it sound louder if it's right down the middle. Maybe it makes it sound quieter if it's panned, right? So typically, I think a rule of thumb would be the width of the mid should likely be more, centered, not so wide, because you might lose some of the body and a little bit more of your mix, right? Let's go to the low end and hear that up front, right down the middle, right? Okay. And then let's widen that. You'll see that. Okay, let's do this all. I'm gonna make them all super wide just for the record, okay? And of course, safe and full. If you do full, it can go totally out and you won't really hear much at all. But if you keep it at safe, it'll essentially won't allow you to go to the max width or narrow. If I come down, it's more narrow. So I typically use full because I want the full range of these sliders, right? And then of course, within this, again, mono speakers would be best for this, right? For working with EQ, so searching for your key ranges, right? And then of course, once you've found your key frequency ranges, let me put this right down the middle, more down the middle. Okay. And let me drop the volume just a touch. Actually, yeah, just a touch. Okay. And here, what you can actually do here in these individual tabs, let's solo this one. We can click solo here. And if we do solo and we go back to master, you'll see it's really just that, right? So what we can do here in our headphones, in our stereo mix, we want to adjust the ratio of this compression. We want to adjust the threshold. So do we want to grab, just the transients at the very top? Let me make this bass a little bit wider, actually. Let me see. Yeah, just a little bit wider in headphones, right? We can adjust the release and everything. Guys, this is super simple stuff, super advanced at the same time. Please do watch my video about this. I might have to link it later if anything. Or guys, again, just join the community and let's, of course, win together, as I always say. I'm going to switch tracks because we're just here having fun. And I'm going to choose one that I was making one day during a live stream, right? I'm going to check you guys in the comments to see if you guys have any questions or comments at all. But more so than that, I really, really, really do hope to see you guys in the community, okay? Because I've spent some time essentially creating this for you, for us to connect with one another and to grow together. That's the truth with that. And again, I would love to make it absolutely free. But in order to avoid the scammers, guys, the scammers have been out there really cold these days, just emulating me. So this one was fun. I had this from a sample. I'll play the original sample, which was the inspiration for the instrumental. Here we go. let me see if I can do this. Yeah, I'll turn up a bit. Okay, let's go. Here we go. Yeah, this was the original sample. Here we go. That's it. That was the sample. I'll play it again. Right. So that was the original and the original inspiration for this. So let's take a listen to it. And of course, guys, it's still in the works. I was going through the scales and everything. It might not even be totally correct, but I wanted to find some tracks that I was working on that we could possibly go through some adjustments together, right? So this was the original song, or this is the idea that came from it. And I'll drop the levels just in case. Again, like I said, guys, let me know. Now let's take a listen to this one a bit. All right. So this one is likely going to be on an album. It's kind of themed on like the Addams Family, something like that. I don't know if that's exactly what it is, but that was an inspiration, as a matter of fact. So let's turn this down a little bit and let's quickly just dive through and see what I've done here. So some of these instruments, let's listen to this one. This is one of my favorite instruments. Yep. I'll give it to you louder. Nice, let's bring that right back right here. I really like this sound. Nice. All right, this one's called Cult of Bars. It's the culture of bars. Let's go, guys. Look, I appreciate you guys being here just to hang out. Again, whatever ideas I had for today or have for today, I really just wanted to hang out with you guys for so long. It's been virtually years since I made a video on this channel. I've been checking all the comments. I've responded to every single comment. There's actually one comment I didn't reply to because I don't know what the person's saying. I translated the words and I don't know what it means. Literally one comment I have not responded to on this channel. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you will recognize that, right? So for this one of the key things I'll say, I always have a little bit of a takeaway for all of these. And I'm going to drop the drums just for now. Let's see. Oh, this one I like the sound as well. Okay, I'll leave some of the sounds on. Just some of my favorite sounds here. This is one of my favorite sounds in FL, this one. This one and this one right here. Epic. Ooh. Favorites. Okay, so let me add something here. Let's add the bass. Yeah. Let's keep it like that because I want a bit of air to say a few key things. Okay, so one of the things that I want to mention about FL Studio before you start, FL Studio Mobile, FLM as we may call it, before we start adding all sorts of effects, delays, reverbs, distortions, who knows? There's so many different effects that we can use. What I would recommend is to go into each individual sound. So let's just say from the ground up, if you add a new module, and let's just say you add anyone, I'm just going to choose anyone. Here we got a new instrument, right? Oh, this is another beautiful thing about FL Studio Mobile that I have to mention before I continue. I have to. This is critical. One of the best updates that we've seen so far. Let's go to the master channel, and what we're going to do, oh my gosh, okay. We're going to add a new instrument, or we're going to add a new effect. The beautiful thing is that you can audition effects now. You can audition effects. You don't have to click it and suddenly it's already imported or added to your rack. You could just try stuff. You could be messing around with your keyboard and you add a new instrument. Now, of course, this is the master channel, so there will not be any instruments that pop up. But still, I'll show you that in an example in a moment. Right? You can see that. You can go through, right? And you can audition them. Guys, this is a time saver, okay? This is a huge time saver. And I think, to my view, one of the most critical updates that has come to FL Studio Mobile that is just kind of like, it's just there. Do people recognize it? Honestly, I don't know. But it is one of the best, most efficient ways, updates that we've had, to increase efficiency. Okay, let's go and find an instrument that's playing. And let's just see where we are here. Let's use this. Let's add this one as well. So this instrument here, right? Let's just say we go and we want to add another module. See, because now we're in an instrument, we can now add other instruments. So guys, like this is like multi-timbral type of situations going on where essentially you can add multiple instruments. Now, of course, guys, we already had this ability before to just add multiple instruments to one rack and play notes and trigger 5 instruments. But again, the key here is that we can audition these instruments while we're going. So let's let this one kind of come back, and you'll see for yourselves, you'll hear for yourselves, right? And there's another. Okay, here we go. Okay, let me go. Yep, it's coming back. Let's do one more. So let me just click replace, and here we go. Let's see. Transient bass, or transistor bass. Super saw, right? It's all there. And again, another thing, watch this. I'm gonna solo that or mute that. Now, the beautiful thing about these new updates is that if I were to change my sound, okay, remember, in your effect racks, if it's an instrument, you want your instrument to be at the top, right? Because if it's not at the top, then you're gonna be facing some issues, right? So let me add some other stuff in here, like this one, 808s there. Let's add the snare drum and the bass drum, okay? So if I were to, let's say, insert something above here, let's say insert above, and I'm going to insert something like reverb, right? Okay. Now let's do this. Hold on. Let's go like this. Okay. Let's go like this. I want you guys to see this. So this is kick 2. I'm going to load something else. Let me just load kick 3. Okay. And let's see. Let me do it like this. Okay. Watch this. I'll go here. I'm going to try it like this. Let's go to bells. I'll just open up this one. Okay. See the naming? The naming has actually changed. So if I replace this, and I change this to something else, and this will be Mini Synth 21, you see the name change right there. Let's change it again, because this wasn't like this before. So this is another update that we've received. Let me go and replace this one to something else. Let me go to Supersaw, and I'll go to Supersaw, watch this, Supersaw, boom. Okay, I'm gonna change it one more time, just one more time. No, not insert above. Oh, I just closed it. Sorry guys, give me 1 second. Here we go. No. Just give me a moment. In the meantime, let me check the chat. Okay. So let's go here again. I'm gonna have to start this over again. Let's drop this. Let's go here. Let's delete this one. Again, like I said, I'm using desktop. There we go. Okay, so let's press play again. Okay. Oh, and of course our tempo is different. Yeah, right. That's right. Let's go. Rock the show. Okay, let me go back to this track. I don't remember the tempo. I think the tempo was maybe 120, or let's just do 75. Let's do 74. Okay, let's just say it was 74. The beautiful thing is that, watch, see Supersaw right now? If I go ahead and replace this Supersaw, I'm going to just choose slicer, and I'll choose any instrument. You can see it's already changed to slicer. Beautiful, guys. This is what we needed for so long. Look at that. It changed right there. Loop masters right there. This is again, there were moments where I lost sessions, or I lost my finished song because I didn't know the name of the instrument, because I maybe the initial instrument that I loaded, as you see guys, I'm showing you that it's changing each and every time. The original instrument that I loaded wasn't working, and I'm going to tell you what instrument I had the most problems with. It's called Plastic. I don't remember exactly which of these modules it's from. Maybe it's from GMS, Groove Machine Synth, or perhaps it's from Mini Synth. I don't recall, but there's one called Plastic, and I had an issue with that in, I believe, for sure one, possibly 2 sessions where Plastic just wouldn't load. Okay, and so now so let's just say in a different situation, you have a session that just, let's just say there's an issue, it doesn't load, or let's just say you change the instrument like I'm doing right now. As you guys can clearly see, I'm just going through and just replacing the instrument to something completely different. Okay, what could happen is if I go again to replace, I'm going to go to 3x oscillator. Look, it changed the 3x oscillator just like that. This used to be a situation where the first thing you installed or the first module you loaded would actually just remain there in the name. No matter what you did, if you change it from 3x oscillator to a drum synth, it doesn't matter. It's still going to stay at 3x oscillator. So the fact that this thing updates automatically, oh my goodness, look, I just want to say thank you so much to the ImageLine team for this. It is actually kind of just made, again, it proved why FL Studio Mobile and FL is just so powerful. So there's another thing I wanted to talk about that I didn't, and I started, but we didn't get there. So let's just say we have our, in this case, the 808 bass, right? I might actually just go to the drums. I'm gonna unsole all this stuff, okay? Let's do it. Let's go like this, okay? And make sure the levels are okay for you guys. Let me know. Drop a comment if anything, right? Let me drop this down just a touch. Nice. Okay, so we've got an instrument right here. Let's go for, yeah, let's go for this one. Okay, let me see what I can put here. All right, so guys, let me know if you're totally good with using your send effects. Of course, we have a video about that as well on the channel. Multiple times we discussed send effects. Now this one is wild. I've got lots of send effects. I'm just having fun tossing everything through the sends. As you can see, it's just going crazy, I'll be honest. Guys, it's just part of the fun, you know. It's part of the mixing fun. It's part of your personalization, your customization, right? However you wish to do it. Okay, so quickly. So we covered, the effects, using effects kind of by adding a module, of course, by pressing plus. But the key thing I want to mention as well is, where's my piano? And I want to redo this piano, get a real skilled pianist to play. So let's just say we have this bass right here. And where's the bass coming to? Actually, let's make sure that we have all of our sends open as well, just in case we got sounds coming there. There we go. Okay, so, and I'll unsolo that as well. So watch this. The beautiful thing about FL Studio Mobile, before you start going and adding all of these different effects, just check the module that you're working on and see if it has any effects on it. So in this case, direct wave sampler, no. But that's one of the rare modules that doesn't, because it's direct wave, it's just wave audio. Whereas these are sound generators, right? These other ones, let's open this up. And let's open this up again. Okay, let's go to the drums. Here we go. Drums. Watch this. Like, this is 3x oscillator, but you'll see this. You have miscellaneous. Look at that. You've got echo, which is of course an effect, right? You can adjust the pattern. You can adjust the waveform, essentially just how this thing is hitting the speaker with the arpeggiator, right? Of course, you have wave dynamic adjustments, level adjustments, right? You can adjust the polyphony of it. Now watch this as well. So some other instruments, let's say we have the piano, which is here. You can do, of course, oh, that's direct wave sampler again, right? So let's find another instrument that is not a direct wave sampler or 3x oscillator. I want to show you guys another one. Here we go, effects. So this is Groove Machine Synth right here. And that one is not a major part of the song, but let's just, here. That sound right there, let's pause it right there. I want you guys to hear the sound, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually drop it like this, and I'm going to maybe delete these. Let's delete that channel. We don't need this one anymore. And I was just showing you guys that you can replace sounds. Now watch this sound. Here we go. Look, we got effects right here, right in the module. Look at this. Okay, you can do on page 1, look, you can adjust the LFO shape, right? Look at that, panner, look, distortion, delay, reverb, ring, vox. Guys, what more do you want? Each of these modules, not every single one, but a lot of the instrument modules have effects. The main one that would be direct wave sampler, but look, 1, 2, 3 different effects that you can add to an instrument before you actually go and do any type of adding of any reverb or delay or phasing, flanger. Guys, I went crazy with this one, maybe for no reason, just to have fun. right? With my mono speaker, my headphones, my tablet, walking around the house, you know. But again, listen to this. Effects. Right here. I can add reverb. I can even turn it off, right? It's amazing. I think, like I said, guys, I'm a huge fan of FL since maybe FL Studio, Fruity Loops, maybe version 1 or 2. I don't remember how long it's been, but I've been using Fruity Loops for a long time. I'll be super honest, you know. And even now, I'm not a master at it because it just keeps going and going and going. It really doesn't end. There's no end to what ImageLine is going to do. So there are a couple of quick things I want to mention and discuss before we say goodbye for the day. I'm going to turn this one down just a little bit to make sure that I'm totally audible and that it's not a disruption. So guys, let's talk about a few key things right now. And one of those key things is FL Cloud for FL Studio desktop, and of course the FL Gopher, right? Gopher to me it's the AI assistant, right? I mentioned this in one of my videos that FL Studio Mobile is going to likely become the #1 used FL Studio version. And I say that because I said that, and I still believe that, because mobile is going to catch up so quickly with desktop. You think of something like the Nintendo Switch, right? Switch 2 and this and that. You know, it used to be the DS or the Game Boy and other handhelds, as you know, but it became the Switch, and the Switch is a lifestyle gaming console. Just like a tablet is kind of a lifestyle art tool, you know, if you're drawing or if you're making music, like we are. You can take this no matter wherever you want, no matter where you go, no matter, where you are. And so I strongly believe that FL Studio Mobile is going to become one of the leading, if not the leading way to use FL Studio. And that just might mean that FL Studio just becomes so compatible with a desktop, with a mobile device, that you can kind of get most of it there. Now guys, I don't literally mean that so many people that everything is going to just convert to FL Studio Mobile. That's not the point. My point is that the gap between the desktop and the mobile version is going to shrink. We already have transistor bass on the mobile version and the desktop, of course. We're going to see a lot more. So with AI functionality, I anticipate getting, AI functionality, like, simply maybe just information, such as what Gopher can be used for if you're looking for information about the app. Let's just say like the user manual, or you want to create some simple chords or something like that. Now, I'm personally more interested in creating my own instruments, playing my own stuff, chopping my own samples. That's totally fine if people want to go about it by getting assistance from the AI, but it's not going to cook your food for you. It's not going to make a hit song for you. It's just going to give you ideas. But the beautiful thing is that you can grab those ideas, copy and paste them, and switch through your modules. And I just anticipate AI is going to come and make it smoother for a lot of people to figure out even how to navigate FL Studio Mobile, right? And so one of my upcoming videos, I want to talk about ways that we can update FL Studio Mobile to be even better. There might be some criticisms there, depending on who you are. It's not a criticism; it's only constructive, and it's constructive criticism from real users of FL Studio Mobile. So that is super fascinating. Music distribution, I find, is going to, of course, streamline. But we started this conversation a little bit by talking about digital assets and finding ways to monetize our craft. Guys, this is a time where you and I can't just get people super excited about our music the way we used to, because the allure of making music is gone. You can download sample packs, you can download chord progression packs. Everything sounds super nice and direct input, very high quality recorded. It's so easy to make music nowadays. It's really super easy to make good quality sounding music. Maybe not in terms of the melody or the rhythm, that's not a guarantee. But in terms of the sound quality, guys, it's super hard to drop the ball on finding good quality sounds. They're a dime a dozen, right? There are free apps. You buy FL Studio Mobile one time and you just get a bunch of new modules. Now, of course, you have to download the sound packs, which I strongly recommend, because let's quickly go through this. As a matter of fact, super quickly, I want to look at a couple of sound packs in terms of the slicer or even drums. Look at how many more drum packs we have in this. We've got the Hyperpop, we've got the Jace Lewis, okay? We've got What else is new? There's these ones. Okay, that's double, but that's just because of on my desktop I have my files a little out of order. But new drum sounds. Look at that. Like the slicers. Come on, look at this. This is super fantastic. Okay, other sounds that I really like. Okay, we've got some other drum kits as well. We had those already. We did a quick video about that. We've got more drum packs, drum kits. I love it, right? Now the drum kit, the drum synth is so advanced in the sense that you have so many options here. You've got cutoff groups or cut groups. You can adjust the envelope settings for each and every sound. You can, of course, reverse each and every sound, adjust the pitch and this and that of each and every sound. You can even send your sounds to different places, auxiliary sends. It's so crazy what you could do here. It's absolutely, like, it's mind-blowing just to get lost, you know? I've had this conversation about how FL Studio Mobile is so great, but it's also so challenging in a way because you can't save sounds and you can't necessarily mark them as favorites, or you're working with these raw sounds. It's kind of like getting raw vegetables. You want to make a meal. You're not just going to get this all-in-one sauce that just kind of fixes everything. You're going to get some carrots, you're going to get some potatoes, you're going to get some salt and some water and some oil and some soy sauce maybe and some other ingredients that you're going to have to put it all together. Yeah, you know, FL Studio and FL Studio Mobile, they're all about synthesis, you know, sound scientists, right? So I just think that is kind of a unique angle. I think clearly ImageLine is a set of technical people, and I love the fact that there is a dedicated group working on FL Studio Mobile. They don't get it twisted, they don't get confused, they're making it for mobile, and so far they're doing a super fantastic job. So I want to say a couple of quick things before we go for the day, and I want to just kind of make sure you guys understand that I'm here for you. Join us in the community, join Blends group. I want to go to that group when this live stream is done, and I want to see a handful of people who've been supporting this channel for so long. I'll do my best to reach out and support you guys. Join the community, share your work. Let's grow together. Let's work together. Let's build together. Let's win together as usual, right? So again, give a thumbs up to the video, share it with a friend. And I really, really hope to do this again because this is something that I've been waiting for. Look at that. This is something I've been waiting for a long time, everyone. I just want to make it clear. I haven't forgotten you guys. So in closing, for this first and possibly only live stream ever for Winning with Blends, I want to say again, thanks guys for joining. Justin Blends here again. I want to make sure that there are any questions, every question has been answered. So when you guys leave comments on videos, I always answer the questions every single time because I was there. I am there still, right? When we have updates on FL Studio Mobile, I'm trying it out just like you guys. Every single pack I'm downloading, every single sound pack, totally fully decked out. So guys, again, if you want to, find new ways to monetize yourself, your music, and to essentially fit into this generation and ride this new wave, because you guys are all creators. Everybody here is a creator. Everybody here has been through some tough times, made some of their best music, put their heart and soul into it, and possibly made nothing in return. Well, it's harder and harder to monetize music because there's just so much competition in terms of people who have more time and maybe even resources to be out there sharing their work. You guys are maybe one or two people alone sitting in your bedroom. You need to be finding cutting edge ways to hit people's ears and also to find where creators are dwelling. And again, so join Blends group. And guys, thank you so much for checking this one out. As always, guys, winning with Blends. Until next time, everyone, take it easy.